The diagnostic tool that I chose to talk about today is concepts of print. So the developmental level for concepts of print is emergent readers. So that means students that are just starting to read or are not yet there. They're not reading. They're kind of flipping through books, looking at the pictures, creating their own stories, maybe getting some words here and there. So the purpose and skill areas are to see the children's ability to understand book handling, and also the skill area is also book handling, so reading, so how you read, the words, and how you would handle a book, what's the front cover, what's the back cover, what's the spine, things like that. So the assessment procedures would be that the child is seated at a table. I'm actually just going to read right out of the assessment for reading instruction book. So place a closed picture book in front of him or her. Make sure that the book is not positioned in the traditional way. That is, don't place the book with the spine at the left and the front of the book uppermost. Ask the child to show you the front of the book, then open the book up to any page that has both a picture and at least 2 lines of print. Ask the child where you would begin reading. Ideally, the child will point to the leftmost word in the top line. Do not be surprised, however, if the child points to the illustration or some vague area within the text. Next, open the book to any page containing only a single line of print and place 2 blank index cards at either end of the line. Using both hands, slide the cards towards each other and say to the child, "I want you to push these cards together until only one word shows. Show me one word." Repeat the process, asking the child to show you one letter. The entire procedure may only last 1 minute, but it can show us a lot of information about what the child does or doesn't know about concepts of print. So obviously, after I went over this, our assessment materials are a book and the observational paper that we as the teacher would be making notes on and giving scores. So the scoring procedure would first, we'd give them a pre-test with the word list. So you would circle the words on the test that the student would identify. And then there's pointing. So you score each line of text 0 through 6. So 6, well, it's a word. So 0 through 6, you would say whether they did get it or they were close to being able to read that line. Then you have word of identification, where you score the words identified in the text, and the child has to identify those words, and they get 1 point each for that. And then you do the post-test word list, so you circle the words that the student identifies correctly the second time, and then you get a total score, and if the score is greater than greater than or equal to 22, that is a good score, and a score less than 30, and then also if they increase the number of words from the pre-test to the post-test, that is also an improvement or a good score. So related instruction ideas would be reading to students and showing students how we read a book. So actually allowing them to see the pages and see that we're not just using words, or that we're not just using pictures, we're using the words to actually understand the text, and it's not just a story told through pictures. So another thing that teachers can do is provide daily reading time and encourage students to bring books from home. So there's a different selection of reading. They can bring in books that they really enjoy. And you can also have students tell you, okay, like you're sitting down in group discussion and you can say, okay, where do I start reading? Ask them questions like this. Okay, what is this? The front of the book. Oh, what is this? The spine of the book. Oh, what is this? The back page or the back cover of the book. And you can also provide paired reading opportunities, so you can get an older grade of students to come read to your younger students. Them seeing how older students read one-on-one is really helpful instead of just the teacher reading out loud to them. So effective preparation and presentation, it's direct instruction or extensive teaching and modeling. That's one way to get it through. Like, you got to show them often. And when you're giving the exam, make sure that the environment feels non-threatening and it's an informal encounter, so the student feels more comfortable in what they're doing. They don't feel like they're being tested. They're just having fun and going over a book with you. And if you're doing that all the time in your classroom, it'll be so much easier for them and they'll be able to learn these things a lot quicker.